Cap 26 here, just appears in hobbies, and got Catwoman back here and getting some silly putty out because we have to block off some of the details here, and I don't know if this stuff will stick, but you want to try to sculpt it in. And it's not working right. I think half of that. Sometimes the silly putty it's old, you know, and it doesn't want to stick. If anybody knows how to get silly putty to stick again, yeah, it's not doing what I want. And this is kind of important, you know. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Silly putty does not want to stick. So we'll try a little blue tape. And blue tape should do the trick. Except just let's see if I can get the this is going to be challenging, no doubt, to put the blue tape on in such a small piece. I want to try to block this off. Oh, for heaven's sakes. It's not going to be perfect, but come on. I don't know, my fingers are not up to the task today to do this kind of work. It's going to cover it a little bit too much, but it's best I can get it. Let's see, I have to do the face. The face is kind of almost the shape of this tape. You cut it around it like this. It's hard to judge the size of it. It's a little bit smaller than that. Well, you know, everything takes a little patience to do, so you gotta have patience, you know, to do stuff like this. Cut that off. And you got a piece of tape down here. How did that get there? Okay, so her suit is black. It's all black, and I've got a picture over here, and I'm going to have to do some detailing of putting some silver in there. But the lower half is all black, and even the shoe the laces are not a different color. They're not like a white. I suppose I could put a silver through there. That'd be good, you know. We got the base over here. Let's put this this silly putty away because it's kind of silly because it's not working. I'd have to take out a new package of it. So I'll have to look that up later and see if I can get that working again. I'm going to turn the compressor on so you may hear some sound. We're putting a little thinner into the airbrush to see if it's working, and it is, before we put the paint, just to clear the nozzle out. This is an Iwata Eclipse, and it's a good airbrush, but sometimes you gotta prime them, you know. Make sure they work before you put your paint in. I'm putting about a quarter of the thinner. This is the thinner I use. I use Windex and what's the other stuff? Always get stuck on the other stuff. Alcohol, deionized water, and this stuff. I always got to look at the bottle. Glycerin. So it's Windex, glycerin, and water. It's half Windex, half water. Fill the top to alcohol, 10 drops of glycerin to make this. So I'm going to put the paint in, and I do about half, and then I mix it in with the brush. I mix in the bowl. You can also make a batch up, but you know, you make a batch up, if you have a lot to cover, yeah, it's a good thing to do. But if you don't, you're just wasting. Boy, that compressor takes a long time to shut off. I wish it was a bigger tank. I do have a bigger tank below my table here, but I just don't have the room to set it up, so it's just in the corner there. it's running on air right now from the tank. I turn her around. Turn her like this. Shut that off if that's irritating. You know, if a compressor could only be, they shut it off actually, and shut it off and just use the air in the tank. It only just shut off by itself. That's the best way to do it, is to let the air build up in the tank and then shut the compressor off and just use the air in the tank. So, you know. So she's done. Do I have any black parts on the base? No. I do have a whip over here that I have to paint. I don't break it. Let's see. There we go. Gotta flip it around. Wouldn't you know it, out of paint. Well, I'm not gonna worry about that. What I'll do is I'll take a brush and I'm gonna go in there and get some paint out of that bowl if I can. Let's see. Yeah, it's just not enough. Just can't get enough out of that. So I'll put some in here. And finish that up. This, when I took this off the supports, I used my fingers, my thumb and my index finger, and pinched it off very slowly so I wouldn't break it. Okay, so let's put that over there to dry. She's still drying. Get this out of the way. Cover that. So for now, I'm going to let that dry, and we'll do the base next. Okay, so we're working on the base now, and we got to get this over here. And another brush. Don't lose that. And put a little thinner in the brush. We're gonna go with a red base. If I can get some red out of this bottle. I gotta fill that bottle with some red. up. Add a little more thinner. Let me shut that off. I might have to go over this. This is a tack coat of red, and we'll go over that with another red that's empty. So we got to rinse this brush out. So we'll be back. We're gonna make up some gray slate paint here. So put some white in here. Okay, and a dot of black, a couple dots. I don't want it really dark. I want it a light slate. And we're using a popsicle stick to mix the paint. On your thinner paints, when you have it thinner for an airbrush, you use the electric one, basically. Let's see, that's pretty good. A couple more dots of black. This is Wicked Colors I use. This may not be enough paint, so I'm gonna have to add some more white. Put that off to the side here. When you add the white, of course, you gotta add your black back in. So about 4 or 5 drops of black. Mix it up again. Okay. That's a good consistency. And I gotta pull a bigger brush out. Yeah, the bigger brush, helps you get along here with getting the paint on the model. Down and dirty with the painting. That's my good friend Steve Iverson there. He down and dirty. Just get the paint on there. That's a good color. I like that color. I hope you like this color I'm putting on here. Work the paint into the model. Okay, so we have to get that one out and take another brush out of here. It's not the brush we want. This one right here we want. Make sure your brush is, you get all the paint off of it. I just changed the water in this wash container. See how there's no paint coming off there too much? Can you see that? Open it up. Get a clean part of the blue rag. Dip it really quick in your water. Okay, because we need to do this part here. And pull the tape off. Because I want this part gray. I only did that to get the I got this side. I forgot this side to do. I'm leaving this so I can turn the model. Always pre-plan what you want to do. This is going to be gold. Okay, so turn it on the side, and hopefully we don't screw up here. Today is Easter. Hope you guys are planning a good, nice meal together. Say some good prayers for the people that are in the hospitals and stuff like that. Because they're not home for Easter. To the top now. If my big fat hand is in the way, I apologize. Get these brushes cleaned up. So the trick is, if you need to save that paint for later, my cheat sheet right there. I had here they are. Get rid of this. You go in and save your plastic Ziploc bags or whatever. And I'll show you a trick here. So you want to save your paint, your color. Open up your Ziploc. Stick it in there. And seal it. That paint will be there the next day if you need it. Or if you need that color. I mean, I can mix up more paint, but, that'll be there the next day. Gonna let that dry. And then we're going to do the gold here and that, but that's pretty well done. So we'll continue this. So we're back to the base here. And we're going to go over it with this red. You can only turn it by, you can see you got red fingers. Turn it by your red fingers. I'm gonna float that paint on there. Okay. Good way to get the paint off your hands is acrylic. Just use some nice liquid soap, hand soap, the liquid in the pump, and scratch your fingers while you scrub your hands with the liquid soap. I find the liquid soap works better than the bar soap. Bar soap, you get the paint all over the bar soap. Got this part right here. We could see this. You can't see it, but I'm turning it from that piece that's not painted. This paint has such a good quality to it. Highly recommend it. I get it from Spray Gunner in Florida. Really good paint. One of my friends that does 3D printing, he's got a slew of machines. Outer Rim, I think his handle is for a YouTube channel. He makes all these different types of helmets, and it's really interesting. Huge pieces he makes on these huge printers. Something I don't do, but he's like an expert at it. He's got like, Jesus, 8 printers, I think, going at one time. And he's deciding to buy a couple more printers for, they call it a print farm, when you have all those printers to do that kind of work. And check him out, Outer Rim. Really good channel. Personable guy, really tells you all about the problems you have with printing and stuff like that. I go with the brand I use. I use Bamboo. And, they're not without problems either, but not as, I find that I get better results and less problems. I've had a Trunksy, I've had a Elegoo, and just by far, the Bamboo is like the Apple computer of printers, in my opinion. If you're interested in getting a printer. And it's easy to learn with the Bamboo. It really is easy to learn. And that's coming from a guy that has a hard time learning stuff sometimes. I don't know it all. I like that base. So for now, we're going to stop and we'll get on to the next video in a little while. So we're back here, continuing to finish the base. And we're going to paint this baton here, or whatever it is. I think it's a scroll, is what it is. Some kind of a scroll. I want to leave that white like it's a scroll. And I got to switch over to a smaller brush. Do the bottom here. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so, you know, models are three-dimensional, so they go around. Put that over there. All of that. Since that's an enamel, we have to rinse it with an acetone to brush. Doesn't take much. I got another brush in the water there now. One's a big brush, one's a small brush. So let's bring her over, take a look at her. Gonna add some black. I have some black already put out here in the tray. Right there. Right there. As far as the markings on her, on the original there was silver markings, you know, on the suit, okay? But I don't find any markings on the model. So we're just going to break out the silver paint and do her boots. So let's put her over there for now. Let's see if I can get the last of the shop towels here. Running low on supplies, guys, because I want to put her on a clean area to work on. You shake that up. I made this little plate out of a tin can to keep the paint stable. You shake that up. Sorry, I'm a little out of view here. How's that? Better? That's better. Oh, I got paint. See, you don't want to do that. Get paint on your hands and then go handle the model. Turn that over there. So we got to dip in here. I think we're in focus. I'm just touching the area there. You gotta have very little paint on your brush. And then the stitches get ridiculously smaller. You just go on the tops of the stitching like that. Got my bifocals on here. All the way down her boot. Like that. Now the picture shows it around her collar and down her midriff. Silver. And they're running silver down the midriff right here. So let's see if we can do that. that. The top one I'm gonna have to cover with black again, but the rest is pretty good. And then silver around her neck. That's gonna be tough to do. I can't even see. I don't want to get my big head in the way here. Like that. Like that. That's good. Let's look at the picture again. I got it all over her face, actually. The silver. So it goes up the ear. It goes across. Need a little paint here. I dip it down and then pull off the, what do you call it? Shaking. Okay, that's about all I could do that way. And I think enough with the silver. And I gotta clean that off. This brush. Put that in there. Take the tweezers. Get this tape off. Like that. These are very pointed tweezers I was using. And let's look at her. Well, that's good. We didn't miss much on the black. So I'm going to grab a very fine brush here. I'm trying to show you this so you don't miss it. And the chin is actually perfect except right here. Get that right there. Okay, good. Just need a little more black. We'll be done with the black. Okay, so we need this brush. We need to do a flush tone, and that's way too black. And see how we get that? It was black here, if you could see that, and now it's just like a clear water. That's what you want. That's what you want. So let's get a flesh tone out. It's not going to take much. Your paint goes a long way. It really does. Got that nice and dry. Pick up some paint. And we're going to put in her. Hopefully we can put this in here. Not too much. In her face. This is the Michelle Pfeiffer version. She did a very good job of doing this part. She was very intense in her drama of acting. Very impressive. It takes a lot to act, you know. I said to a friend once, oh, it's easy, blah, blah, blah. Not really. Not really. It takes a lot of work, they pointed out. It really does. Doing expressions and getting the right speech, tonal speech. That looks good. Good. She looks almost happy, doesn't she? Well, she is. She's happy, but she's evil. So there it is like that. Not much more to do on this model. I'm going to start brush off. And my little secret of putting the eyes in, we'll let it dry for a few minutes, is to use a toothpick. We use a toothpick. That's a toothpick. But when you do the eyes, you gotta make sure you put them in so they're not cockeyed. And I've done that before, everybody knows. I've done that before. There we go. Now we gotta do the lips. And her lips are ruby lips. So I'm gonna pick up some red paint out of the tray. It may just be a little bit too much. There we go. I just have to fix around her mask a little bit better. I'm gonna rinse that. Make sure we have it all off the brush. Make sure your brush is dry before you apply paint, before you pick up paint, because you'll get a wash, and it'll wash through, you know, on your model, different areas. You don't want that. I think right here. She actually looks happy, not too evil. She doesn't look too evil. Well, what can you do? We want to fix this down here. Pick up some paint. Like that. Okay, so last thing we have to do, you see I got paint, silver paint on the areas I didn't want to. So the last thing we have to do here is let her dry on the blue cloth. And we missed the boots down here. And put her on the pedestal. I missed this side. And put her down. We'll do a last go over. But that's basically, she's all done right now. And I would say she would go like that with the whip. If you can see that. Can you see that, guys? Turn the camera. I can't see with this camera here, but should go like that. Thanks for watching on this Easter Sunday. Have a good day. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next video. Make sure you give the thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now.